Hey, it's Cart36. This is a video for my daughter. So this is the rich man and Lazarus. There was a rich man who was dressed in purple and fine linen and lived in luxury every day. At his gates was laid a beggar named Lazarus, covered with sores, longing to eat what fell from the rich man's table. Even the dogs came and licked his sores. The time came when the beggar died, and the angels carried him to Abraham's side. The rich man also died and was buried. In Hades, where he was in torment, he looked up and saw Abraham far away with Lazarus at his side. So he called to him, Father Abraham, have pity on me and send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, because I am in agony in this fire. But Abraham replied, Son, remember that in your lifetime you received your good things, while Lazarus received bad things. But now he is comforted here, and you are in agony. And besides all this, between us and you is a great chasm has been set in place, so that those who want to go from you here to you cannot, nor can anyone cross over from there to us. He answered, Then I beg you, Father, send Lazarus to my family, for I have 5 brothers. Let him warn them, so that they will not also come to this place of torment. Abraham replied, They have Moses and the prophets. Let them listen to them. No, Father Abraham, he said, but if someone from the dead goes to them, they will repent. He said to them, If they do not listen to Moses and the prophets, they will not be convinced, even if someone rises from the dead. So right off the bat, you can see from this last line, they will not be convinced, even if someone rises from the dead, that the issue, that's Jesus. This is prophetic. It turned from parable and story to prophecy pretty fast. And in fact, he is, I believe he's in the context of speaking to the Pharisees right here. Um, the Pharisees who love money heard all this and were sneering at Jesus. So he is speaking in the presence of the Pharisees. The chief of the Pharisees at that time, well, the high priest, I believe at that time, was a man named Caiaphas. And he was related to another man named Annas. Um, and they were powerful. They were probably actually Sadducees. But, uh, but whatever they were, one of them, I believe it's Annas is the father-in-law, and Caiaphas is the son-in-law, and Annas has 5 sons. So they are literally brothers um, to Caiaphas, brother-in-laws. And there is the possibility uh, that Lazarus is actually a person, and that the rich man was actually someone who was maybe even listening to Jesus speaking, so that when he mentions Lazarus, he says, Oh, I had a beggar who lived at my front door, at my gate, and he died. And this is a prophecy about the death of that rich man and the destiny of that rich man. Now, that's speculation. That's way speculation. But the point being, there's several points in this that strike you as powerful. One is Jesus' ability to prophecy and to see that no, even after his resurrection, there will be plenty of people who will deny him. And I would even say that we see from a book like Revelations where the plain reading of the text, without sort of theologizing the text, plain reading is that Jesus sets up a kingdom, and when he sets up 1,000-year reign kingdom, that's the plain reading of the text in Revelations 19 and 20. Still, after reigning gloriously over the world and fulfilling all prophecies from Isaiah and Ezekiel, still the enemies of God surround Jerusalem to try to kill him again, even after he has risen from the dead and returned in glory and splendor and set up a wonderful kingdom and lived among the people of the earth for 1,000 years, solving health issues so that a person who lived 100 years is thought to be cursed by God, and the people's lives would be like the lives of trees. So even in that case, unbelievers will not only not listen or be convinced, but will also attack. So the other thing to mention here is that your situation, your circumstances do not tell how God is pleased with you. Literally speaking, every day this beloved son of his sat as a beggar by the rich man's door. God's beloved son, Lazarus, sat covered in sores and like Job, um, and lived in hunger. And what's to say but that you cannot discern someone's place with God um, by their physical circumstances, by their success or failure. So obviously Lazarus the rich man would have considered blessed by God, but he was not. He was actually storing up wrath, and it was left to him until he died. So there's a lot to be said here. There's a lot to be said that Lazarus, the rich man, never asked to be let out of hell. And he never asked for mercy, for forgiveness. He never confesses that he was wrong to leave Lazarus alone or sorry that he did that. Instead, he actually sees Lazarus as a lackey, as a lower than him still. Even though he's next to Abraham, this rich man still considers Lazarus a servant or less than a servant and to be despised and ordered about. Uh, Amazing stuff, really. The other thing that I wanted to mention here is that the rich man gets what he wants. Like I said, he he did not want to go to Abraham's bosom. Uh, the only thing he wanted was a little relief from his bodily pain. So he was focused on his body during his life. He was focused on the material world, and still in hell, he is focused on his body and the material world. It is only comfort that he looks for. And now he's receiving bad things. So uh, he's where he wants to be. If he wanted to go across the great chasm, he could have asked. And he would have been told no, but at least he would have asked. But he is where he wants to be. Now, he does not want his brothers to go there. That's true. But he is wrong. They will not repent. Because he himself is not repenting, even though he sees it all. All right. These are a few thoughts as I read The Rich Man and Lazarus and consider the state of everyone's souls. God bless you all.